It is a choice to move out of limitation. It's a choice to say, I don't want to be a victim anymore. We try to manage the leaves on the tree. So you've got to go to the root. You've got to unpack the suitcase. You've got to deal with your stuff. And then you grow and you evolve to a place where there is no suitcase. There's not even a bag. One of the things that is prevalent in the community, the tapering community, and this is really applicable though to lots of other gateway experiences, we try to manage the leaves on the tree, whether it's I'm going to take magnesium at night to help me sleep. I'm going to, oh, don't take magnesium, that could rev you up. No, I took an antihistamine and that helped me sleep. Don't take an antihistamine. I did this or I took that. You're just managing the leaves on the tree instead of getting to the root cause. And there's several things wrapped up in that. I don't know what's happening at the subconscious level. If you believe the magnesium is going to work for you, it's going to work for you. If you doubt that the magnesium is going to work, or you think you're concerned about having an experience, that's what you're going to create. Okay? So that's one piece of it. The other piece of it is that we are all coming from our own life experiences, which created perceptions, which created beliefs, which created a vibrational place which are creating filters that each of us is looking through. I have no idea what went into your life experience and is creating the filters that you have. And so to put these blanket statements, or this person or that, or doing this or that or whatever, moot point. You're treating the leaves. You've got to go to the root. And it is my experience and my contention that you've got to unpack the suitcase. You've got to deal with your stuff. Otherwise, it's window dressing. You're fooling around with things that are not really meaningful and impactful. Do they seemingly manage the situation? Sure. But that's not really going to get you to dealing with the stuff. And I want to say this too. When I started cutting the duct tape off, i.e. tapering the medication, there's this beautiful thing that you start to wake up emotionally. And I have journal entries about this. It's a beautiful time to have enough awareness to look at your stuff without having your emotional system be overloaded, because it's still blunted. And I believe that it's a divine orchestration to allow us to have enough emotion and be connected enough as we're tapering off, without overwhelming the system with a floodgate of whatever. And if you're not tapering and you were yanked off cold turkey or whatever your situation is, it's more imperative, I would say, to deal with whatever that stuff is, because it's like a pinball machine and it is all getting lit up and triggered and going off all at the same time. It hit you like a tsunami. So there's blessings in slowly tapering. There's a lot of opportunities in this process to heal and transform, and it is not for the faint of heart, but we have so much support if we just step into it. It absolutely requires getting curious with yourself and being willing to sit with yourself and ask, what is this about? What is this really about? And being honest with yourself, really honest with ourselves. I think most of us know when we are BSing ourselves. If we're really honest, we know when we are BSing ourselves. And we don't have to have the whole picture. We don't have to know every single aspect or every single ingredient in the stew. But when you open that door to say, oh, there's carrots in there, whatever that label is. Okay, let's start with the carrots. The other thing I would like to mention about symptoms, I don't like the word symptom because it has a vibration attached to it. I like the word reaction. So when we have these reactions and we're tapering, the tapering experience is very myopic, very myopic. And we automatically attribute to whatever we're experiencing, the reactions, etc. We automatically equate it to, I cut my dose or I'm tapering my medication. It's that those reactions are a manifestation of something else. It's either something held at the subconscious mind, a thought that we keep thinking over and over again, that we're creating it. It's not usually, again, in the confines of reactions, what you think it is. In fact, in my case, it never was. It never was the cutting and the tapering of the medication. And when I looked at a more metaphysical, as within, so without perspective, and all of the healing and transformation and reperceiving, I didn't have a single symptom again, or reaction. I didn't have a single reaction again. It is a choice to move out of limitation. It's a choice to say, I don't want to be a victim anymore. I don't want to be victimized. And now also, or feel like a victim. Another thing that I think is important is that when we have these really impactful gateway experiences, and again, I'm speaking mostly from the tapering community aspect, is there are a lot of payoffs or perceived payoffs to staying the same. You might have to go get a job. If you are feeling well, if you are creating a reality like I did where you are symptom-free of coming off your medication, you might have to get a job. And maybe the place where you pressed pause with that medication was, I'm not happy in my career. I studied something that I don't want to do, and now I got to look at that and I got to face it. And it's the path that is easiest for me is to stay where I am. Or I might have to set boundaries with my spouse or my partner, or I might have to address something, whatever that thing is, and I feel I can't do it. I don't want to do it because it's going to rock the boat and they might leave me, or they might cut off financial funding from someone who's supporting you during this process because they don't like, not because you're creating a reality where you don't have the symptoms anymore, but because you set a boundary with them, it made them angry, and now they don't want to support you financially. The list is endless. And so it's not the path for everyone. Healing begins when you make the choice to say, I choose to heal. I choose to look at my stuff. I choose to open myself up to something different than what I've been doing. If what I'm doing isn't working, if you're not doing anything, then maybe do something. But healing is a choice, and healing is a process, and it can be a really beautiful and transformative process that I would never, ever change for a whole list of reasons.